Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders are now working together to try and defeat Donald Trump. Sanders officially endorsed Clinton during a rally in the swing state of New Hampshire today.
So here to talk about the impact of this endorsement is Ray Sonenshein, the executive director of the Pat Brown Institute from Cal State Los Angeles. Great to see you, Rafe. All right, so basic bottom line, what's your reaction to what happened today, and will this actually make a difference?
Well, first of all, it took forever, but he probably played his hand pretty well. He got the platform changes he wanted. He got her to come around on health care, free tuition for college. So he got what he wanted. He waited till the very last minute. He was getting to be the guy at the party when the food is gone and the bar is closed and he's still there. But at least they hadn't turned the lights out. It's going to really help her considerably, probably more than we expected.
Do you think, though, you're talking about her kind of becoming a little bit more liberal. Do you think she is authentically embracing it?
Well, it's a funny thing. Hillary Clinton started out as quite a bit more liberal than her husband, Bill. He was the centrist in the family. So you could also argue that she's actually returning to where she's always been, but for many reasons couldn't be. But she also picked some pretty popular issues. Extending Medicare, that's a very popular issue. A public option for health care. So these things probably will not hurt her too much. I don't think she gave in on ones that might have caused her some damage down the road. And the party is already a pretty liberal party at this point.
And she also did the minimum wage. She did the TPP. She did voting rights. I mean, it's pretty extraordinary the way that she has moved maybe farther to the left than she may have wanted to. The question is, will that make a difference to the Bernie or bust people? These people who go to Bernie's rally and say, I'll never vote for her. Will the issues matter?
I think these issues will matter for young voters. And that's the key group she was not able to get. She was getting crushed among younger voters. And these are all issues that will matter to them. So I think at the end of the day, it's going to help her. With the hardcore people in the Bernie camp, there's nothing she could do to ever get them. Democrats need turnout and enthusiasm. That's always the problem in the Democratic Party. It's not just whether they agree with you, it's whether they care or even notice there's an election, let alone turn out.
And Donald Trump may help them with that.
Donald Trump is a great mobilizer for the Democrats.
Let's talk about Donald Trump really quickly. We talked to you about it last week. Do you think we're any closer to finding out who his vice president choice is going to be?
I'm no closer because I can't figure out what the role of a vice presidential candidate is in essentially a one-man nightclub act. What's the, on the Democratic side, they'll send them to the swing states, they'll help with key constituencies. Trump has no swing state strategy. He has the message and the messenger. That is his campaign. The picture of him standing there like this on the stage is the campaign. A lot of people don't want to be his vice president. You're down to a few people for whom it's a last chance at the career, like Newt Gingrich and Chris Christie. Joni Ernst seems to have sort of taken herself out of it. I think it's a hard job to audition for because it's not clear what the role is.
And after Bob Corker's audition, he took himself out of it as well. He said, I don't want to be a part of that. So the other big thing, we saw the Attorney General today testifying before Congress. We saw the FBI director doing the same. Do you think the Republicans are going to keep up this email issue going up until November? And does that matter? Because we see her trust issues down. We see her, a majority of Americans now think she should have been indicted. Is that making a difference?
Well, the Republicans, ever since Bill Clinton was president, have had a great habit to take scandals that really do bother people and push them so far that ultimately people don't care anymore. And I have a feeling the odds are pretty good, but there's huge pressure within the party to keep pursuing these. This is very popular in the Republican Party, but they're now facing a general election electorate. And at a certain point, I'm not sure people are going to care. There's a lot of other stuff going on in society, as you know from earlier in your report, that is even more important than the election. And I think the scandal is going to have a hard time staying at this level all the way to November.
A long time ago, Hillary Clinton used to call that the right-wing conspiracy, the vast right-wing conspiracy.
She did, but I think after a while it just gets to be too many, too long, and I think it wears people out a little bit.
All right. Rafe, thank you so much for the insights.
Absolutely. I know we'll see a lot more of you at 3 o'clock. Thank you again, Rafe. We have a lot of time before the general election.